You're just another black boy with no future. Judge Harmon's gavel crashes down. Devin Taylor rises. The courtroom falls silent. 17. Shoulders squared despite the weight of every stare. The judge leans forward. I know you're kind. Just another statistic. His finger jabs the air between them. No discipline. No father figure. The judge's lips curl. Where is your father anyway? Devin maintains perfect eye contact. May I call him, Your Honor? Judge Harmon smirks. By all means, if he even answers. Devin pulls out his phone, dials. The courtroom watches. Dad, Judge Harmon says you failed to raise me right. He's wondering where you are. Devin's voice stays steady. Could you come to courtroom 4B now? Who exactly waits on the other end of that line? The Manhattan Criminal Courthouse on Center Street smells of old wood and floor polish. Fluorescent lights hum above. 3 investors from New York City's financial district sit together in the back row. A private prison lobbyist stops writing mid-sentence. Every reporter leans forward. Devin doesn't flinch. He holds the phone and waits. Hi, friend. Before we continue the story, kindly tell us, where are you watching from? Hit that subscribe button now so you don't miss what happens next. I have something new for you tomorrow. Stay tuned. Let's continue. Nobody in that courtroom believes anyone important is coming. 3 rings. 4. The call connects. Devin's jaw tightens once, just once, then relaxes. Whatever just happened on that call cannot be undone. And Judge Harmon has no idea what he just set in motion. 3 months before that courtroom moment, Devin Taylor sits alone in a Brooklyn apartment at 2 in the morning. The radiator knocks every hour. His laptop glows blue. He is reading SEC filings. Heliox Dominion. Headquarters split between Manhattan and San Francisco. A $1 trillion private equity firm. To most people, just another powerful name. To Devin, after 6 weeks of public records, it is a pattern he cannot unsee. Heliox buys tech companies in Seattle. Those same companies win city contracts for predictive policing software. Arrest rates spike in low-income zip codes. Heliox's prison real estate investments across Dallas jump in value. Every single time. Miami, Los Angeles, Boston. Buy the tech. Deploy the algorithm. Fill the beds. Collect the returns. Devin draws the arrows on paper. He stares at what he has built. He has mapped a machine designed to turn struggling neighborhoods into quarterly revenue. And his neighborhood in Brooklyn is already locked inside it. His hands go still above the keyboard. What Devin does next will cost him everything. He knows it. He does it anyway. Because some things, once fully seen, cannot be walked away from. Devin finds a side door, an unsecured testing node inside a Seattle data center. Someone left it open. He is inside in 11 minutes. He copies everything. Internal memos, risk models, revenue forecasts with one column labeled projected incarceration yield by demographic zone. He reads the phrase 3 times. In plain corporate language, he is staring at the reason his Brooklyn Community Tech Lab shut down last year. Heliox bought the building. The neighborhood needed to stay unstable for the numbers to work. Devin encrypts the files and sends them to 3 journalists, one in Washington, D.C., one in New York City, one in San Francisco. He waits 3 days. One replies. 2 words. Can't touch this. Then, at 5:42 in the morning, 6 federal agents knock on his door. They show a warrant before he speaks. Cyber terrorism, economic sabotage, conspiracy against national financial infrastructure. Devin reads it twice. He never touched national infrastructure. He touched a company's greed. In the eyes of the federal government, that was the bigger crime. Nobody in that hallway mentions Heliox Dominion. Not once. The federal courtroom in Lower Manhattan feels rehearsed. The prosecutor in the gray suit doesn't argue law. She argues image. Devin came from nowhere. No guidance. No structure. She calls his data work digital radicalism. An executive from San Francisco testifies about market fear. A Dallas investor talks about financial losses. Nobody mentions what Devin actually found. Every defense subpoena gets blocked. Every witness request gets denied. Every objection gets overruled mid-sentence. She delivers her close. He comes from nothing. No father figure. No future trajectory. Like 17 years of a life can be filed and forgotten in one breath. Guilty on all counts. Judge Harmon picks up his gavel and looks at Devin with the ease of a man who has done this before. Devin's mother sits in the gallery behind the rail. She already knows. Life. The gavel slams. Devin's mother collapses in her seat. Devin doesn't break. He turns to his public defender. Voice completely flat. "May I make one call?" And right there, in the center of his own destruction, Devin Taylor smiles. Barely. Like this is exactly the moment he has been waiting for. The whole courtroom goes still. Even the court reporter's fingers stop. Judge Harmon sighs and gives Devin 30 seconds like it is charity. Devin dials. The phone rings once, twice, 3 times. The prosecutor checks her watch. A reporter near the window reaches for his notepad out of habit. Nobody believes this call changes anything. Then the line picks up. Devin keeps his voice low. "Dad, Judge Harmon says you failed to raise me right. He's wondering where you are. Could you come to courtroom 4B now?" 1 second of silence. Then a calm voice. "I'm already in the building." Devin lowers the phone. Judge Harmon laughs once, short, dismissive. The prosecutor smiles. 3 deputies begin walking toward Devin. 30 seconds wasted. Case closed. Then the back doors of the courtroom open. Quietly. The way powerful things always move. 3 federal marshals step inside first. Behind them, a man in a dark suit walks the center aisle with a stillness that pulls every sound out of the room. Every political journalist looks up from their notes. One goes completely pale. Because that face is recognized in every newsroom from New York City to Los Angeles to Washington, D.C. United States Attorney General Darius Vail, head of the Department of Justice. Walking directly toward the defense table, he stops beside Devin, places a hand on his shoulder. "My son," he says softly. The room stops breathing entirely. Judge Harmon's face drains of color. The prosecutor's pen rolls off the table and hits the floor. And nobody, not one person in that courtroom, moves to pick it up. Because that is not even the real twist. Attorney General Darius Vail does not ask for mercy. He does not request a delay. He sets a sealed federal envelope on the clerk's desk and speaks directly to the room. The Department of Justice hereby submits a federal indictment against Heliox Dominion Corporation. Racketeering, algorithmic discrimination, securities fraud, criminal conspiracy to manipulate incarceration markets across the United States. The prosecutor's chair scrapes backward. Her co-counsel grabs her arm before she can stand. Vail continues without pausing. Attached is internal evidence pulled directly from Heliox's own servers. Evidence this court spent 3 weeks trying to suppress. The DOJ had been watching Heliox for 18 months out of Washington, D.C. They had trace shell companies, investment trails running through Dallas and Miami, and municipal contracts tied to tech firms in Seattle. What they could not prove was intent. The internal documents showing that rising arrest rates were a planned revenue outcome. Not a coincidence, not a side effect, but a deliberate business goal, remained locked inside Heliox servers. Until Devin accessed them. He was never a criminal. He completed a federal investigation that trained, funded adults with unlimited resources could not close on their own. Judge Harmon had not just sentenced a teenager to life. He had obstructed a federal corruption probe. The prosecutor had not just overreached. Federal investigators had already traced her professional ties to corporate legal counsel employed directly by Heliox Dominion. But the deepest cut came last. Heliox had quietly funded judicial campaign contributions across 14 states. One of those judges held court in New York City, courtroom 4B. Judge Harmon's full name was printed on the donor list. The room does not just shift, it collapses, and not one person inside it makes a sound. Within 48 hours, the country moves. FBI offices in New York City and San Francisco execute simultaneous raids on Heliox Dominion. Agents in Seattle seize servers. In Dallas, marshals freeze 47 accounts tied to private prison investments. The SEC halts trading on 3 Heliox-connected stocks. Senate committees in Washington, D.C. schedule emergency hearings. Heliox stock drops 31% on day 1. CEO Benedict Rourke holds a press conference in Los Angeles. He uses the word shocked 4 times in 9 minutes. Then the emails surface. Then the voice memos. Then a Boston investor briefing in Rourke's own voice describing controlled demographic yield modeling as core strategy. The press conference ends. No questions taken. Private prison values crater. Predictive policing contracts suspended in 11 cities. Leaders from Miami to Seattle cut Heliox ties publicly. Devon's conviction is vacated. Judge Harmon resigns. No public statement. Devon walks out of the Center Street courthouse on a gray Tuesday morning. His mother holds his hand down every step. Neither speaks for 2 full minutes. Cameras flash. Devon does not smile for any of them. 2 weeks later, a reporter corners Attorney General Darius Vail outside the DOJ building in Washington, D.C. One question: why didn't you ever reveal Devon was your son? Vail stops, faces the camera. Because the law does not bend for blood. It bends for truth. That line runs on every major network by evening. By midnight, it is everywhere. Devon does not become a story about a powerful father. He becomes something the country needed more. A 17-year-old from Brooklyn who understood financial data better than analysts in San Francisco. A teenager who looked at a system built to erase him and chose to document it. Universities in Seattle and Boston invite him to speak. Policy committees in Washington, D.C. cite his findings. Congress introduces the Algorithmic Accountability in Corrections Act. Devon asked them not to name the bill after him. Heliox believed wealth made them untouchable. Data does not care how much money sits behind name. Devon Taylor had been reading data since he was 14. Laptop, lowing, radiator knocking. Everything on the line. That kind of power cannot be sentenced away. 3 months after Devon walks free, a confidential memo leaks to a journalist in New York City. Heliox was not alone. 2 other private equity firms ran the same model. One is based in Los Angeles. The other operates out of Boston. Both hold active municipal contracts. Both have investment portfolios tied to correctional real estate. Both are under quiet federal review. Devon reads the memo at his Brooklyn desk. Same blue glow. Same radiator. He scrolls to the bottom and stops. A senator's name sits in the donor records attached to the second firm. That same senator currently chairs the Oversight Committee investigating Heliox Dominion. Devon closes the laptop. The room goes dark. He sits still for a long time. Then he opens it again. This was never just one company. Never just one judge. The first dataset only scratched the surface. Devon Taylor is just getting started. If a 17-year-old from Brooklyn could expose a trillion-dollar machine with nothing but a laptop and the will to look, what else is buried right now behind spreadsheets and shell companies in cities across this country? Devon did not wait for someone to rescue him. He became the evidence. He became the case. That is the only power no courtroom could ever take away. If this story moved you, drop a comment and tell us where you're watching from. Share it with someone who needs it today. Subscribe now. Turn on your notifications. Every story on this channel is built around real power that refuses to stay quiet. You do not want to miss what is coming next.